What is up, everyone? This is DragonBallMedia, and today we're doing another What If episode. And if you haven't seen my other What If videos, make sure to watch them after this video, link down below for the entire playlist. So in these videos, we tackle in-depth possibilities and speculations on Dragon Ball events that could have happened, or simply, what if they happen. And today, we're going to figure out what would happen if the Dragon Balls couldn't revive anyone. This is a very tricky and scary thing within the Dragon Ball universe, as the Dragon Balls are literally the prime reason you see most of the main characters still to this day within the Dragon Ball Super series. We know them as the main reason behind characters like Goku, Krillin, and most of the other Z fighters being brought back. But what if that wasn't the case? So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let's figure that out. So for starters, let's do a little background on the Earth Dragon Balls so we can kind of figure out exactly what would happen. So as you all know, the Namekians, exclusively Kame and Dende, were the creators of the Earth Dragon Balls. They're scattered across the entire world, and once all 7 are found and brought together, you can summon the almighty Shenron, who will grant you pretty much any wish with a few limitations. For starters, Goku actually states that Shenron cannot grant the same wish twice. However, he's brought back multiple times, so we're going to assume that if you wished for vanilla ice cream, you couldn't wish for that again, sort of thing. It's a little confusing, and within the movies, manga, and anime, there are rules that have been broken or changed, so we're just going to keep it for the original rules. Shenron cannot revive any character who dies naturally either, so if you die of old age or sickness, you can't be brought back. He also can't wish death upon a character unless they're weaker than Kame, Piccolo, or Dende, and if you haven't watched the Dragon Ball before, then you know there's some of the more weaker characters within the series. So unfortunately, they couldn't have wished death upon Frieza, Boo, or even Cell, as they would have just been, that would have just been too easy. So now that we've covered the basics and the rules of Shenron, let's get to the main point. What if he couldn't revive anyone? This is probably the most used and important wish throughout the series, as I've mentioned before. It's brought back some of the main characters time and time again. Let's cover the basic Dragon Ball timeline on this, and see pretty much how it would play out of each scenario if the Dragon Balls couldn't revive anymore. Oopas Father Bora. So for this one, we're traveling back all the way to the original Dragon Ball series. In the Red Ribbon Army saga, we're introduced to Goku's Indian kid friend Oopa and his father. Oopa possesses one of the Dragon Balls, which ultimately lands him being kidnapped by the Red Ribbon Army. When mercenary Teo finds out about this, he visits Oopa's village and proceeds to kill his father Bora. Jumping forward to the fortune teller Baba saga, we see that Oopa, along with Goku and Krillin, find and retrieve all of the Dragon Balls. They wish for Oopa's father to be brought back to life, and everyone's lives live happily ever after. Except now, the Dragon Balls can't wish people back to life. So how would this scenario play out with Oopa not having a father? Well, unfortunately, Oopa and his father aren't really given enough screen time or character development, so honestly, it would probably play out normally. Bora wasn't really the most necessary character, so that wouldn't change the Dragon Ball timeline regardless of him being alive or dead, so to be honest, nothing would really change. Goku helped defeat the Red Ribbon Army and Teo, so Oopa's village could live in peace and harmony from there on out. So Oopa would probably have to fend for himself and probably become more stronger, independent character. He's not a Saiyan, nor does he have crazy special powers or anything like that, so we probably wouldn't see much of him later on, to be honest. King Piccolo's Wrath. This is another one of those where a bunch of random people are killed, so it won't make too much of a difference. However, from a technical standpoint, one of the first main characters is killed within the process. So during the King Piccolo saga within the original Dragon Ball series, Piccolo is the bad guy. During his youthful rage, King Piccolo is then seen causing massive havoc and just wipes out a bunch of random pedestrians that gets in his way. However, when King Piccolo spawns a character known as Tambourine, who subsequently, pretty much kills Krillin, one of the main characters at the time. So technically, King Piccolo didn't really kill him, but he still dies because of what King Piccolo did, so, whatever. So now Krillin's dead and can't be brought back. So what all would this change? Well, before that, Krillin was one of the main characters up to that point. He trained with Goku on Roshi's Island, he went on adventures with him, he was pretty much right there with Goku during most of the original Dragon Ball series. But because Krillin died in the original Dragon Ball and can't be brought back, a lot changes for the future. For one, Krillin wouldn't have been there to help defeat Vegeta, so that outcome probably wouldn't have been the same. Because of his Spirit Bomb, that helped Vegeta pretty much stay defeated so he wouldn't kill any more of the Z fighters. He wouldn't be there to help stop the Ginyu Force, specifically Goldu and Raikou. He wouldn't have been there to help turn Android 18 into the good side, which means no daughter Marin. And he also wouldn't be there for the Tournament of Power, which he didn't do much anyway, so yeah, whatever. There's a lot of crucial moments Krillin partook in, although he didn't have the most effectiveness when it comes to power levels and fights. He was there for most, if not for all, of the normal moments and adventures, and it really would have sucked not having him there. Goku's first death. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, we come to the pinnacle of the Revive wish, Goku and his first ever death, coming from the hands of a friend of all things. So a little background story first. In the beginning of Dragon Ball Z, Goku and his then son Gohan visit Roshi's Island and visit all of the other main characters from the original series. When out of nowhere, Goku's evil older brother Raditz shows up and a battle ensues later on. The only way to stop Raditz is for Goku to sacrifice himself, so he holds on to Raditz and Piccolo kills them both with a special beam cannon. Everyone remembers it and it would set the pace for the rest of the series, but now Goku cannot be revived. So what happens now? Well, for starters, I'd assume Gohan would take over from there on out. Him doing the normal routine of training with Piccolo, becoming stronger, and eventually becoming a true Z warrior. But is he strong enough to take the role of his dad? Absolutely not. Because Goku is officially gone forever, that means he couldn't come back to save the other Z warriors and, well, the whole planet Earth from Nappa and Vegeta. He couldn't help stop the Ginyu Force and Frieza, which we wouldn't have witnessed the most iconic fight scene of all time, that being Goku versus Frieza. And he wouldn't have been there to help save everyone from the androids in Cell. Let's not forget Gohan would eventually be the one to defeat Cell, but Goku literally had to sacrifice himself once again to defeat Cell and save everyone. So that wouldn't have happened. And that's just in the Dragon Ball series alone, ladies and gentlemen. Dragon Ball Super is a whole other ballgame. For starters, nobody would have been able to stop Beerus from destroying Earth. That leading into no Tournament of Power because Zeno wouldn't have seen the original tournament between Beerus and Champa, which, was primarily started because of Goku. I mean, if Goku stayed dead after the beginning of Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball wouldn't have been where it is today. It just would have sucked, and Earth as we know it, along with all the characters, would have easily been defeated by Vegeta and Nappa. Yeah, that really would have sucked. Not to mention, Goten wouldn't be a thing either, but Goten has kind of went down a pretty terrible hill in the Dragon Ball Super universe, so really, it wouldn't have been all that bad. Friezas Revival. This is one that would take a heavy blow to Dragon Ball Super, and the Tournament of Power really wouldn't have been as fun to watch. Sorbet, who is this little blue character that we see throughout the beginning of Dragon Ball Super and the newer movie Resurrection F. He's not so important, but he does have a pretty big impact on the series when he steals the Dragon Balls on Earth and wishes for Frieza to be brought back to life. He was actually going to bring his father King Cold back too, but Pilaf interrupted and, wished for 1 million Zinni. So since this is a what if the Dragon Balls didn't revive video, so Sorbet would have had to choose a new wish, because Frieza is unfortunately going to stay dead. So like I said, the only real impact on the series from that point on, without having Frieza, is Goku would have had to choose a last member to take Frieza's place. That's really the only thing that Frieza does within Super, even though it is a pretty big impact because his power levels and his fights within the tournament are pretty big. He still would have, had to find someone equivalent, if not a little bit weaker, but who really knows? The Dragon Ball Super Broly movie is a different question though, as he could have played a major impact without him there. As you know, Frieza obtains the Dragon Balls and wishes to become 5 centimeters taller. Even though that's pretty pointless and doesn't really have any impact on the movie, his relationship with Broly and his father is definitely one that is very impactful. You see, Frieza recruits both Broly and his dad Paragus, and they subsequently join the Frieza Force. That wouldn't be a thing anymore, and also Frieza's the one who literally kills Paragus and blames it on the Z-Fighters, so that wouldn't have happened either. So essentially, without Frieza being in the Broly movie, Broly and Goku / Vegeta probably wouldn't have hated each other as much. On the downside, Paragus would still be alive, and he's definitely not a good role model, and to be honest, it's probably a good thing for the series that he stays dead. All in all, Dragon Ball Super wouldn't have had much of an impact without him being there. I'm sure Goku could have found someone else to take his place, but the Broly movie would have had a pretty big impact for sure with no Frieza. And this is kind of a bonus one, because they aren't really technically Earth Dragon Balls, but we'll include the Super Dragon Balls anyways. So as you know, within the Tournament of Power, whichever universe comes out on top as victorious, they're allowed one wish. And as you know, Android 17 is the last remaining fighter and wishes for every other universe that was defeated to become resurrected and to come back, pretty much. Seeing as how we don't see much of the universes past the Tournament of Power because that's when Super ended, it's really hard to say. But I know we wouldn't see characters like Jiren or Hit, Kaba or Kefla. We would have been without most of the new fighters. And honestly, it would suck really, really bad. So that's it for today's What If video, guys. If you enjoyed, please leave a thumbs up and subscribe. Comment down below and tell me what kind of What If video you'd like to see next, and I will be sure to credit you within the next video. This is DragonBallMedia, and I will see you guys in the next video.